We watched a comedy today. Yeah, we watched Mrs. Doubtfire. Comedy is a bit strong. No, it's a comedy. Let's get into it. I say that. Oh, sorry. Let's get into it. Big jumper on. Feeling the cold? We're starting to get a bit chilly. Anyway, Mrs. Doubtfire is from 1993. It lasts 2 or 5 minutes. And 2 hours too long. It stars Robin Williams, Sally Fields, and other people. Yeah, mostly Robin Williams. As Robin Williams. As a guy who can't sit still. He's definitely got ADHD or something. Well, so Pierce Brosnan is also the other main star, I suppose. Yeah, he's hardly in it, but okay. Well, he's in it quite a bit. Robin Williams plays Daniel, an actor. Yeah, that he's got a job. He's voiced in a cartoon, which is, I understand, quite good money, and it's a nice looking cartoon. That he gets himself fired instantly because in the cartoon a dudgie smokes a cigarette, and Daniel doesn't like it, so he starts making coughing noises and talking about illnesses you can get from cigarettes. Yeah, I mean, you could just stick to the script, I suppose, but that he can't, because he's so hyper, and he's so righteous. Well, I don't know about that. So Daniel goes and he picks up his kids from school, he takes them home, and it's one of their birthday. Yeah, he's got 2 daughters and a son. Is it the son's the middle one? I think so. I don't know, the boy and the girl are kind of similar ages, maybe they're 11 and 12 or something like that. Yeah, and then there's a little girl who's about 6. Yeah, he takes them up and he says, let's go home, I've got a surprise. He gets them home and he's throwing a big party. He's hired basically every animal you can think of to come. And yeah, it's a bit OTT, a little bit. But what's more OTT is that his wife, Miranda, played by Sally Field, she comes home, yeah, and she goes mental. She goes nuts. She's like, get out this house. I want a divorce. Yeah, I mean, I get a feeling it's been coming for a while. Yeah, she's easily triggered though. There's a Tony. For her daughter's birthday. I want a divorce. Right, okay, yeah. So they go through court proceedings to discuss custody. Daniel loses custody of the children. Yeah, because he's a man-child. He's just excitable. Yeah, that's one word for it. Yeah, well. Daniel's told he needs to prove that he can be a responsible adult. So he goes to see a careers advisor and he could be set up with several jobs. Yeah, but instead he decides, I'll do a load of funny voices for this old lady, and she is not amused, and neither am I. Did you not think it was funny when he was like doing the impersonations? Yeah, impersonations of people who were famous in the 1930s, or an impression of a hot dog where he just sits still. I guess you had to grow up with Robin Williams movies, I guess, because this is torturous. Oh. It's hard going, right, okay. He seems like a nice guy, that is hard going. Yeah, I think Robin Williams was, from what I've heard from reports, one of the nicest guys in Hollywood. One of the nicest guys you could hope to meet. Right, that's good to hear. It is. Some of his antics on screen are a bit hard to take unless you're an actual fan. Right, are you an actual fan? Well, I wouldn't say. I grew up loving his movies and loving his TV show and things like that. But as I got older, I kind of thought it's a bit full on for my taste. Yeah, well, I'm right there. From the first introduction to him, I am right there. It's too full on. It's too much. But I'm glad he's a nice guy. So, Daniel sees later in the day that Miranda has put an advert in the local newspaper for a childminder or a nanny. Yeah, somehow he just stumbles across that advert. Well, I think he's looking for a job and it's in the job section and he recognises, I don't know, his wife's typing? Well, anyway, he decides to have a bit of fun. And the client calls her. It's harassment. Call the police. No. He phones up and he starts doing all these voices, pretending to be different people applying for the job. And it's things like, oh, I'll beat up the children. Things like, I'm a lady that I used to be a nan, which apparently in 1993 was frowned upon. After more fun with these voices, after more of these voices, pretending to be awful people, he actually decides, wait a minute, I'll just put on an old lady's accent and actually apply for the job. So he does. He puts on a Scottish accent, not a very good one. Well, it's not terrible, but all the way through the film, it's it's called different things. An English accent, British accent. I don't think it's ever called a Scottish accent, but that's what he's going for. Pretends to be an old lady, Mrs. Doubtfire. Sally Field says, "Can you come round for a trial shift?" So he says, "Of course I can." "Of course I can, dearie," is what he says. Yeah, so he goes to see his brother, who's this like nude makeup artist. Yep, convenient. So he goes to see him and he says, "Make me into a woman." And he sits in a chair and he tries on all these different disguises as going in, even though he knows the voice he's got, even though he knows the character he's going for, even though he knows it's an old lady, a Scottish or British old lady. He still puts us through 20 minutes of him sitting doing impressions of Barbra Streisand and Cher and other hilarious voices. You know the voice he's got? Just stick to it. I see your point. This could have been done in a minute. Yeah, but instead it takes up half the movie. Eventually settles on the makeup and the wig that he needs. Yeah, this terrifying old lady. So he goes the next day to his old house and he says, "Hello dearie, I'm Mrs. Doubtfire. I'm here for my trial shift." Mrs. Doubtfire goes in, has a great first day, all good, you've got the job. Yeah, of course it's a bit longer than that. There's a bit more humour. Also, how can no one tell? They know their dad is this crazy character who does all these voices and likes to sometimes dress up. How can not one of them see through the disguise or recognise a little inkling of the voice? Well, he must be very good in this day. That evening, Daniel heads back to the apartment. He realises he's supposed to have a meeting that night with the careers advisor. Yeah, the old lady from earlier. So she comes up to his apartment and she says, "Let me in," that he's still wearing this Mrs. Doubtfire stuff. So he says, "Oh, I'm Daniel's sister from England," with a Scottish accent. Yeah, no. Instead of Mrs. Doubtfire just saying to careers advisor, "I'm sorry, Daniel had to nip out, there was an emergency," or "he's got a job interview," or anything, she just says, "Come in, he's in the other room." Why would you do that? This leads to more hijinks. Mrs. Doubtfire will go into a back room and come back out as Daniel. Daniel will go back into the room. Mrs. Doubtfire will come out. Yeah, it goes on and on. Caters. More caters. Yeah, loads of capers. Full the career advisor lady. And she's very impressed with Mrs. Doubtfire's ways. Yeah. It's another long sequence. That is a bit. After this, we get a montage of funny moments with Mrs. Doubtfire. Yeah, it's like she's on the bus and the bus driver thinks she's an attractive old lady and he's like, "Hi." Eventually, Mrs. Doubtfire meets Stuart. Yeah, Jane's Bond. Pierce Brosnan. He's started to date Miranda. Miranda's at a place where she wants to introduce Stuart to the kids and to Mrs. Doubtfire because she already sees Mrs. Doubtfire as a part of the family. Because he is. The strange tart. The tart she doesn't want around. Mrs. Doubtfire, obviously, because it's Daniel, is not impressed. Not happy with Stuart. No, she basically says to Miranda, "You are a bit of a tart, a bit of a slatter." Yeah, she kind of insinuates that she's been a bit promiscuous. Yeah, they're having one boyfriend, one date, one gentleman caller after her hideous, immature husband left. While this has all been going on, Daniel started a job working at a TV production company. Yeah, I don't know why. Sally Field's paying a fortune to be this housekeeper. Yeah, I guess it must be to show that Daniel can go and get a job and he can be responsible. Yeah, and he thinks, "Oh, it's a TV production company. I bet I'll be on TV soon." But it's not that. He's working the warehouse, he's lugging boxes around. During a break, he stops to watch one of the TV shows being recorded. Yeah, and it's this 97-year-old man talking to dinosaurs and talking about dinosaurs, and it's so dull, it's so boring. Another older gentleman comes and stands beside Daniel while he's watching this, and Daniel just starts riffing, just starts going, oh, look at this guy, he's as old as the dinosaurs. He's sending me to sleep. Oh, Shelley's extinct and all this stuff. yeah. And it turns out the man next to him is the head of the TV production company. Of course. So Daniel's made him laugh though, luckily. For some reason, the owner of the TV production company says, let's have a meeting and we can discuss any TV ideas you have. Yep, because that happens all the time. Do you know, Brad Pitt, when he was an extra, he was in a movie and he sneaked in a line. He said something like, he's playing a waiter, and he said something like, this is true by the way, he's playing a waiter and he said something like, would you like anything else, sir? At the end of his scene. And the director said to him, listen, if you sneak again, you're offset. Yeah, these things don't generally tend to happen. Even for Brad Pitt. Yeah, even for Brad Pitt. So definitely not Daniel Doubtfire, if it is called. I don't think that's his name. Later, Miranda and Mrs. Doubtfire sit and have a heart-to-heart. And Miranda tells him she really likes this Stuart. She says, I used to think my ex-husband Daniel, he could do anything, but then I realised he was just a man-child, he's immature, he's hopeless. And Mrs. Doubtfire's sitting there clenching her fists, seething inwardly. Yeah, he's going to take revenge on them all. No. The family all go on a little vacation to a country club. Yeah, they go away for the weekend and decide, let's take Mrs. Doubtfire. Yeah, you know, if I was a housekeeper and I was working for a family and they said, we're going away this weekend, come with us, I would be like, no, because you're obviously going to want me there to watch the kids. Or pay me double and I'll come. And also, I don't think any family would be saying to their housekeeper, come on, come with us. It's weird. That during the sequence, you see Stuart and he's talking to an old work colleague, and the work colleague's like, oh, sorry you got messed up with a woman who has kids. And this movie wins me over here. Does it? Yeah. They could have made Stuart be like, yeah, I'm just going to ditch them when I've had my fun. They could have done that. What actually happens is Stuart says, no, the kids are great, she's great, I really like them, I'm going to make a proper go of this and show that he's actually a good guy. Yeah. And then Mrs. Doubtfire throws an orange off his head. Yeah, of course, yeah. A whole bunch of things happen. While they're at the resort, they have dinner. The restaurant in the resort is also where Daniel somehow has got a meeting with the production company boss. Yeah, it's more capers, it's definitely more capers. Mrs. Doubtfire is sitting at the table with the family, having fun, having a conversation, having a few drinks, and then going to the bathroom, and Daniel's come running out of the bathroom, and he's running across to see the head of the production company, to see, you know, for this meeting, this job interview basically. Yeah, so he's gone between them, he's like two places at once type of thing. Mrs. Doubtfire runs across the table, sits and has a drink. Daniel runs across that table, has a drink. No one sees Daniel. You know, it's a bit strange. For some reason though, during this, Daniel decides to drink everything he can find at both tables. Yeah, he's getting more and more drunk, which is not a good idea for any of these scenarios. Looking after kids or going for a job interview. Yeah, I can see how you lost custody, mate. Another thing he does is he pauses his antics for a little minute. Yeah, so that he can almost end the life of Stuart. Stuart says, I'm allergic to teters. I'm deathly allergic to tetter. In between rushing from table to table, Daniel decides, I'm going to put a load of pepper and a load of chilli and things like that on Stuart's meal. Yeah, so Stuart starts to eat it. Now, Daniel is, as Mrs. Doubtfire, a bit drunk, forgotten where he's meant to be going, goes to the table with the head of this production company and says, oh, hi. And the production head is like, what's this? What's going on? Why are you dressed as an old woman? This is a bit bizarre. Yeah, and Daniel says, oh, this is your new character, your new TV presenter, Mrs. Doubtfire, dear. At the same time, Stuart starts to choke on the pepper because he is deathly allergic. He made sure everyone knew that. Yeah, so he's almost on his way out. And then Mrs. Doubtfire stands up because she hears a commotion, launches herself across the restaurant, hurdles over tables, and says, "Help is coming, dearie." Comes over, gives him the Heimlich maneuver, and saves his life after being the one who almost ended it. And then Miranda and the kids and Stuart are all like, "Why were you sitting over there with that man? Were you on a date?" And then Mrs. Doubtfire's mask starts to fall off. Yeah, it's like a horror scene. It's absolutely terrifying. He takes his face off in front of the kids and goes, "Look, it's me, it's your dad, and you happy?" Everyone is freaked out, horrified, terrified, traumatised children for life. Well done, Daniel. Back to court. They do go back to court, and his access to the kids is even more restricted than before. That's what you get. After this, we cut to Mrs. Doubtfire on TV. Yeah, it all worked out. Mrs. Doubtfire is a TV presenter. She's sitting talking to a puppet. And she's talking about Pakistani people in Britain. And she's making all these hilarious jokes. So Daniel's got his own TV show as Mrs. Doubtfire. We cut to his old home, Miranda's home, where Miranda and the kids are watching TV, watching the Mrs. Doubtfire show. They switch it off and Miranda says, "Right, there's the doorbell. Come and meet your new babysitter, your new housekeeper, nanny, whatever." How rich are these people? Well, it doesn't matter. Let's go and meet them. Let's go and meet them. So they open the front door and it's Mrs. Doubtfire. It's not Mrs. Doubtfire, that's what we were expecting. But it's Daniel as himself. And the kids are like, "Really, Mom? Is he our new nanny?" Yeah. And she says, "Yep. I trust him." The kids all go into the car and drive off with Daniel for the weekend. And that is the end of the movie. Yeah. And the kids are never seen again. No, that's not true. It is. Well, we don't know that. No, that's the end of the movie. Miranda has decided it's only fair he gets to see his kids at the weekends. You know, hang the course. What? You know, to heck with the course. What are you talking about? Never mind. But anyway, that's Mrs. Doubtfire from 1993. What do you think of it? Well, it's long. It's too long. It could have been 80 minutes. It could have, without all the riffing and scatting and comedy, it could have been a lot shorter, a lot more enjoyable. Did not enjoy it. Well, I did. It's just too long, and then there's too much. That Daniel's unstable. I can't believe after everything, after peeling off his face in a restaurant, after trying to kill a guy with chili and peppers, he gets access to his kids and has a happy ending. Well, that's, I mean, this is not right. Was there a Mrs. Doubtfire too? No, there wasn't, no. I'm not surprised. Okay, we're going to go. We'll see you next time, but hit like, hit subscribe, watch another video. It really means a lot if you subscribe. You're lucky, eh? Right, okay. Right, we're going to go. We'll see you next time. Bye, dearie. Bye.